Bungie just released some new info regarding the Titan Behemoth Stasis Subclass and going into more detail about their super abilities, and we got to see a little bit more detail on the aspects and the fragments waiting for us in Beyond Light in November. So the following is a closer look at the Titan Behemoth in Destiny 2. So let's dive straight into the update from Bungie, and they say, Titan, Smash, two things that simply go hand in hand. There are a few combat situations in Destiny 2 that can't be solved, or at least made better, by a quick Titan punch to the face. When Beyond Light is released this November, Guardians who prefer the Titan class will discover a new subset of stasis powers that allow them to harness the power of the darkness. And yes, fisticuffs will be part of it, but that's not the entire story. As we discussed in our previous edition of the series, each stasis subclass will embody a facet of stasis. Warlock Shadebinder's emphasis freezing enemies, and as you'll learn about next week, the Hunter Revenant is a specialist at slowing the action down. The Titan Behemoth uses stasis as a both means of creation and destruction. With the Behemoth, we wanted to put an emphasis on the ability to use stasis to create crystals that can alter the battle by changing the very ground beneath your feet. Control the ground, control the fight. And as a result, the Behemoth can use their stasis abilities defensively, such as creating crystalline walls to block enemies and gunfire, or offensively by using crystals to freeze enemies. So this is something that we've seen from the trailers already, with the Titan throwing grenades onto walls to create a protective barrier, which can block out gunfire or hide teammates for a quick surprise attack. So Bungie continue by saying the Titan Behemoth can unleash a powerful melee attack known as the Shiver Strike. So here the Titan lunges forward, launched by a stasis explosion at their feet to propel them towards an enemy. While in midair, they summon a stasis gauntlet that covers their fist, and then they slam into the foe, sending them careering backwards and slowing nearby enemies. The Behemoth Super Glacial Quake begins with the Titan forming a mighty gauntlet on their fist. They can then slam the gauntlet into the ground, sending out shockwaves to form the stasis crystals, which freeze nearby enemies. Covered in an armour of stasis crystals, the Titan temporarily becomes an unstoppable wrecking machine, able to jump higher, faster and farther, all while blasting enemies with greatly increased melee attacks. If frozen enemies are the bowling pins, think of the Titan Behemoth during the Glacial Quake Super as the bowling ball, able to instantly shatter enemies as they sprint or slide through them. Running amok in a crowd of bad guys and shattering them like a perfect 10-pin strike is a fine strategy, but there's a degree of subtlety there too if you want it. For example, you can cancel out of a slide into a massive stasis-powered leap, only to cancel that out at the right moment and direct the Behemoth downwards into a devastating slam. So punch if you must, but no, stasis has plenty more to offer you, Titan. So Bungie finish up by saying next week we'll be going deeper into stasis with our look at the third and final subclass, the Hunter Revenant. How do you make the quickest class even more deadly? By slowing down everything around them. So that was it for the update from Bungie, and we've had quite an extended clip of Titans running around on the battlefield using their stasis abilities in previously released footage, and that's going to be showing in the background now. The Shiver Strike looks similar to Thunder Crash for our Arc subclass, but with the added bonus of slowing nearby enemies. I do like the fact that Titans get covered in a field of stasis. That definitely looks really cool. One of the new bits of info here we have too is the ability to cancel out the slide into a stasis powered leap, and that is going to offer a lot of versatility into our attacks as Titans. In terms of the aspects, we do get a closer look at one of them here in the screenshot with Tectonic Harvest. So this appears to have 3 fragment slots and reads a petrified grip, grasping for something once held but now lost. Your hand creates power from nothing. And shattering a stasis crystal creates a stasis shard, and this shard grants melee energy when picked up by you or your allies. And this is a really nice new bit of information here, as we've had mods before that will allow you to regain your melee abilities faster, but we've not had something that's going to grant melee abilities to our teammates. So I would imagine that we're going to see similar things for our grenades and our class abilities too, and now through our subclass aspects we're going to be able to influence the regeneration of abilities for our fire teams. That's really, really nice. We then get to see a fragment called the Whisper of Durance, where the slow to your enemies lasts longer. And for those abilities that linger, their duration increases and you got a plus 10 to strength there. And that seems like a standard mod type effect with a plus 10 on strength, and that's going to work really nicely with the stasis shards mentioned before. So there's plenty to be really excited about for those Titan mains out there. My playtime in Destiny must be approaching about 700 hours or so, and I think probably 2/3 of that has been on a Titan. But I have to say that I am really excited about the Hunter reveal coming next week and for that Revenant Stasis subclass. Well, let me know down in the comments what you think of the Titan Behemoth. So what do you think of the super, and what aspects and fragments and different combinations do you want to see? Well, that's it for this closer look at the Titan Behemoth Stasis subclass in Destiny 2, and thank you so much for watching. For more Destiny 2 content like this, hit that subscribe button down below and subscribe to This Week in Video Games. If you want to join the community, check out the Discord link in the description, or you can follow me on Twitter at TWIVG Podcast. If you enjoyed the video or found it useful, liking and sharing it would really help me out. Otherwise, check out these other videos on the channel. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.